Double winners here at Hillsborough today. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels good. Talked to the players before and I've just mentioned it in the press conference there, how we were ridiculed for so long. 6 seasons in League One, Pub League and all stuff like that when I took over in 2016. And I still think, I still talk about it to my pals, United pals and Wednesday pals. I'm sat in a pub, would you believe? Shock. Watching Wednesday versus Hull. And I said, if Wednesday win today to get into the Premier League, they might be gone for 10, 15, 20 years. They didn't. And we managed to slowly close the gap slowly, 100 points in the first season. Then we came here and won 4-2. They made a All League manager against the Champions League manager. Get that result. The season afterwards, we sold David Brooks, and with a profit of £6 million, possibly a 13th or 14th highest budget in the division, we managed to finish runners-up to Norwich City, find ourselves in the Premier League. In the Premier League, ninth finish, and then a disappointing season, and then playoffs. Sure, we'd have gone up if Paul had got the job at the start of the season, or I'd have possibly stayed without being arrogant about it, because the team was set to go up. Next season, go up, disappointing season, and what I wanted to do, which I told the players, I wanted to adjust the narrative of where we were, that we weren't the Pub League. We weren't ridiculed. Nobody cared about us. Nobody was abusing me. Nobody was trying to run me down in a car or whatever. Nobody's giving it me. When that happened, then all of a sudden, it changes, and now we're a little bit more of a rival, a little bit more of a threat. Then we go above them. Then we go even further above them, and tonight we're 31 points above them. And it's amazing today that nobody talked about us going top, and would have gone even further ahead with 2 points added on that we should be in terms of the team and what we've done with a team that's been put together in 7 months. Wanted us to dominate the city at academy level, we're doing that. Wanted us to have the best ground, we're definitely doing that. The supporters are the supporters. Fabulous supporters from both sets, passionate. The noise in here again today was electric. I knew it was coming. I talked about when Jow scored, when we went 2 each at that. We knew what was happening. We knew it would be a fast start. We know what it's like at Bramall Lane. I know what it's like here. I told the players, this is going to happen. This is what the game's going to be. So, wanted to have the best ground, wanted to have the best training ground, bought a new training ground. Somebody's come in and wants to take the club further, which is, I think, testament for the work that we're doing, and they see ambition and life and a future in there. I think the manager's gone on transfer market and found out that we were worth 125 million. That money's been earned by what happened in League One when we sold Dominic Calvert-Lewin, when we sold Ched Adams, when we sold other players. It was earned when we went into the Premier League. It was earned again by retention. It was earned again by going in the Premier League. So we have that right to improve and be a better club. And as I said to you, at that moment in 2016, when the manager had signed all these unbelievable players that had got to a playoff semi-final and got to a playoff final, right? We were miles away from them, absolutely miles away. We're not miles away now. And by the way, I'm not even talking about the 90s when we're watching Shez and Waddle and Erstey and Roland Nielsen and Nigel Pearson and all that lot, John Arks and Waddle and all that lot, not swanning around, doing their bit in the Premier League and being this absolutely, from a football fan and knowing these guys as well, obviously don't want to be too supportive, but watching it and going, how good is this? Try to adjust and alter the narrative. And I think when people talk about pressure on managers and responsibility on managers, the pressure on me, the responsibility on me to lead my club in terms of what we've done from 2016 to 2024, 25, with 82 points on the table and done a double over Sheffield Wednesday, our nearest rivals, it's always going to be a good day.
Can I ask you about this? So, this is the 6th straight away win that you've had. Sheffield United have not had 6 straight away wins since 1893. What is it about this team that enables you to get the job done like this?
We find a way. There's 3 ways of winning games of football: over, through, and round. So I'm not getting hung up on, what people think about us. I mean, their manager come out and said we're a direct side. We've got Gus Ayman, we've got Callum Aware, we've got Ryan Brewster, Jezrak Sake, Ben Berrett Diaz. If they press, we go over the press. If they're compact, we'll go round. And if they open up, we'll try and go through. 3 ways. It's not about me. It's not about what I want to do to make me look good, because I'm a little bit too long in the tooth for that. But I know how to win games of football. The team knows how to win games of football. We won most games of football in division. So we have to dig in and see the first 25 minutes out. I'm not naive enough, Rob, to think that I'm coming here today with the atmosphere and emotion of them off the back of 2 wins, their season hanging on to this, their manager saying it might not be the first time, might not be the last time we play Sheffield United. We knew everything was coming at us. From the moment the welcome committee was out in the car park for us and me, I think the boys were a little bit shocked how much they got after me, to the first 20 minutes where it was on top, where they did exactly what I would have done, got the crowd involved, played forward, crossed it, had an opportunity. We made a couple of silly mistakes that invited that on, but we knew what was coming. But it was the game that we thought it would be. We'd get control of the game in the first half without being unbelievably clinical, but Harrison should score, Ryan should do better with his header, and Ben should do better with a shot. And then second half, we made some poor decisions that allowed it on. They've had an opportunity, of course, but we were never, ever going to come here and absolutely dominate the game. If the roles were reversed, at Bramall Lane and Sheffield Wednesday were on 79 points and we were on 51, we would have had chances. But round through and over, effective football. If we have to sit in and defend, we have to sit in. If we have to hit people on the counter-attack, we have to pick counter-attack. Stick your data where you want to stick your data. We're here to win, and we've won 2 big games in the city.
How pleased are you for Ryan Brewster? He's had a lot of adversity at Sheffield United, and yet he will always be remembered now as a goal scorer in a Sheffield derby to get a Sheffield United double.
Said it to the players before the game. So when we were talking about the journey in 2016 and the training ground and the academy and the value of the club and whatever, we said along the way there's managers, whether it was me, whether it was Zeki, and it'll be somebody else. And by the way, it will swing. It will swing back into the favour of Sheffield Wednesday. I don't know how long that's going to be, but it will swing in time, because that's what it's done for the past 125 years. They've been on top, we've been on top, they've been on top, we've been on top. We're on top. So I said to the players, there's an opportunity here. Along the way, Mark Duffy, whether it's Billy Sharp, whatever it's been, the players along the journey from 2016, Bash, all those players that have played the part, McBurney, Illerman, Zanderberg, everybody that's got Sheffield United from there, 2016, mid-table, 6 seasons in Division 1, laughing stock, ridiculed everywhere we went. No, don't worry about them, they'll be there, that's them done for the rest of the season. All of a sudden, we've got us up. So we talked about then your opportunity now to stick yourselves in there as a team, and individually there'll be players that grab that opportunity, and Ryan's grabbed it. He came to us, in a difficult period. We really had a difficult period. COVID really knocked the stuffing out of us. I think we lost 14 games by the single goal. It wasn't, we weren't this embarrassment into the Premier League. And he's had injuries. He's had massive injuries. So every example of boys mentally and physically giving it everything for moments like that in front of their cop end. For me, I never played in a Sheffield derby, but I've managed Sheffield derbies now. I never had that opportunity, even though I wouldn't even be in that position. But he scored in front of the cop to win 1-0, to give us a double, and then now focus on the main event, which obviously is, and it's amazing. I never like I said, Rob, I never talked about us going top tonight. Joint top. Just talked about winning. Losing was never in our thought process. It was never in my mind. It was never in me coming here at the end and talking about losing. It was talking about win, win, win. And we, like you talked about there, we found a way and we've won most games in the division.
I know you've got a lot of work left to do this season before we can maybe talk a bit more about this, but do you ever think about your legacy, Chris? You've won promotions at this football club. Now you've done a double against Sheffield. It's the first one since 2006. It's been a while for Sheffield United to do that. You just keep ticking these things off that a lot of other Sheffield United managers haven't been able to do.
I've got massive responsibility. It's an heavy shirt that I wear on myself personally. That's my wife, that's my family. I live and breathe it 100%. It's with me all the time, 24/7. To do what we've done since 2016, and then come back, and we had to suffer last year as well. That the suffering that we all had to undergo. Yet again, being ridiculed and embarrassed in terms of what was happening. But getting the club, a lot of things that people talk about. You've given us our club back. I've helped give us a club back. There's a lot of people involved in that, and it is now in where it should be. So when I'm walking down the street or going to watch United or coming here maybe in 5-10 years time, might even be 2 years time or whatever, I like to think that we've all played our part, and whatever people talk about, but holding head up high and giving everything for the football club and service the football club. I'm a servant. I love the club, love the supporters. We've suffered, as we talked about, as a football club for a long time in the shadow of Sheffield Wednesday, and we've managed to break out of that. And like I said, taking kids and grandkids to games, which no doubt will happen in the next 5, 10, 15 years. I'll go content wherever that is, but there's still work to be done. There's another promotion on the horizon. We've got an incredible challenge. It's ridiculous the amount of points that all three clubs have got at this stage of the season. We talk about Leeds United not going up with 90 points. We're on 82 points. I know it'll say 80 points with 8 games to go. How good are the teams that have been there? How consistent they've been in their approach, their attitude, and they want to win. And it's going to be an absolute titanic tussle between now and the end of the season. We've got a brilliant game coming up on Friday. Everybody should be unbelievably getting behind us, which I'm sure they will. We've made their day today. It's good to be a United fan. It's good to be involved at this football club. And whatever happens, Rob, whatever happens late on, it happens. But there's still work to be done and goals to achieve.
There's a couple of other things I want to ask you about. First one, how good can your goalkeeper be?
Yeah, he's not bad, is he?
Where could he get to?
Yeah, so when people talked about it, the build, so we haven't done it. We haven't done this with an open checkbook. It's like I said, I talked about the Sheffield Wednesday chairman in those days, and you've obviously reported on it, lads on 40, 50 grand a week. We've done it by earning the right to, but we've been smart in the summer. We've spent 2 bob and a conker in the summer to get Michael Cooper for 3 million, to get Harrison Burrows for 2 million, to get Callum O'Hare on a free, Tyrese Campbell on a free. All these other boys. We spent a couple of quid in January, which we needed to, but we'd earned it because we sold Trusty, we sold Jaden, we sold other players.
Sula.
We sold Will, so we had that ability to basically replace Will with a young, up and coming, short, medium, and long term centre forward who's got pace. So and delighted that the owners have supported me in terms of what we wanted to bring in, what we needed to bring in to give us parity with the top clubs. So we've not done it on an open checkbook. We've done it by looking and working hard and finding and then persuading, which is a big part of it. Do you want to be on this journey? Do you want to join this fabulous football club? But you have got to be all in. His performances have been outstanding. Another clean sheet. He's there to make saves. I think the first one is a pretty comfortable save from Smith. The second one's a decent save, but his calmness is incredible. That's where he comes from. In the country, it might be a reason without being too controversial. He's a down to earth boy. He just gets on with his job, and he's been outstanding. I think all teams that want to win and want to achieve something in this division. We had it with Dean last time out. Wes did a great job for Sheffield United, and Michael's following the footsteps.
Final thing, the game finishes and you pull out a shirt with number 2 on the back, George Baldock's shirt, and you and the players celebrated with that shirt. You had a picture in front of Leppings Lane with the shirt, and you finished the celebrations with the shirt above your head. What did that moment mean to you all?
This club's been through a lot this season, from the changing of the ownership, for the struggles pre-season, getting the players in for the -2 points, for trying to stick a team together, trying to hit the ground running, having the target on our back straight away from a lazy journalistic point of view that, we're Sheffield United, we've just been in the Premier League, so, you know, we should be one of the favourites to go back up. To stick a team together, to change the way we played, to all the other things, and then the tragic, you know, death of just an incredible player, an incredible culture carrier, popular player amongst ex-players and even players here. So we all knew his journey. He's been on the journey. So when we talk about those players, when we talk about the likes of Basham and Skip and McGoldrick and Ollie Mack and all that lot, Illiman, Sandon, right the way through, he's right up there. Absolutely right up there because of what he was about. And I remember him coming here when we played in the 4-2, and he was absolutely outstanding against some really good players. And he would have loved today. It would have been right down his street. So yet again, we recognise him. He's not forgotten. We have his shirt up in every away game and every home game, and he's there with us. And you know, we wish he was still here.
Chris, thanks for your time. Congratulations.
Cheers. Thank you. Thanks.